Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, the draft is over. It was a roller coaster for sure. I'll go more into that, but for now, let's grade this draft. So I'll walk you through my crazy emotions. I was pretty similar to Tom Grassi, I'd say, in my emotions throughout the draft. But the first one, I was just really mad that we didn't get Jackson Smith and Jigba. Um, I loved him throughout the draft. He grew up like 20 minutes away from me. Um, he was insane in high school and like not even touchable. And so I just really wanted him to be a Packer, especially because he could just destroy that slot and just be such a great weapon for Love. But after a couple days of thinking about it and dwelling, I think it's a fantastic selection. We're going to go over all the selections today, all 13. We'll go on to undrafted free agents later down the road, but today, just the draft. Let's get into it. All right. So we have the 13th pick. I mean, that's a very valuable selection. And yeah, we jumped the Patriots, and I think they were actually going to pick him, and that's why they traded back. Just a little tidbit right there. Uh, yeah, it was a great need that we needed for the edge, and he just has so much potential, like how we took Gary a couple years ago, and especially with Gary's ACL, and we don't know when he's going to come back. We definitely need that, as well as it says down here that Smith's cap casualty is going to be pretty crazy as well. I like that. I think Brian was talking about in one of the conferences. He talks about how he's like Zadarius Smith and how he's going to use him like him. And I'm like, shoot, why not? But yeah, this was his RAS score. Love looking at that. Great hand size. I mean, dude's just big. Okay, dude's 6'5", 2'7". That's just a big human. Um, and he's really lean. He is ripped, really ripped. The one of the concerning things was that he only had 17 bench reps, which is quite odd because he's always like that bull rusher, and so like you think they have such just power, but I mean, very few humans on the planet can do 17 bench reps at 225. So what in the heck is this ad? I am so sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's just terrible. Um, so yeah, the bench thing was a little concerning, but when you look at the other things, you can disregard it for sure. Sub 4.6 at that like size is insane, as well as the shuttle and just that quickness. I mean, you gotta love it. Um, I haven't really heard many comparisons besides Zadarius Smith because I'm gonna try to compare people that are taken throughout the draft to pros at the moment. But um, really pissed off at first at the pick just because the Jackson Smith and Jigba being on board. But what Goody did for the rest of the draft, I think, makes up for it. And let's see his other picks. Sorry, there's a lot of articles, and that they didn't just do one article, and so I got to go through each one. So y'all just gonna have to bear with me. Uh, okay, so we had 42, 50, 78. Well, we had 45, but then we traded down twice, which was actually fantastic because that allowed us to get. I'm going to talk about these guys in a second. I'll talk more in depth. Why my mouse has been acting up recently. We got Carl Brooks with one of the picks, very underrated. And we also got Dontavian Wicks. So those are two really solid players that have a lot of potential that we got from trading back twice. And so really happy about that. Um, so moving back a couple spots and then getting a fifth and a sixth rounder, I think well done by Goody, especially for who we selected at those picks. First pick, Luke Musgrave. My initial reaction was I was actually kind of happy. It was kind of weird because like I know about him a lot. I know he had injury problems, But there was a cool stat. It was like he only played 2 games last year. That is not the good stat. But he had 169 yards in 2 games. That's really dang impressive for a tight end. So you can see he has the potential. I know these don't look good at the moment, but I guarantee they're not worried about the injury situation. So, but this kid, yeah, receiver like burst 154 is really good for a 10-yard split. Yeah, vertical threat. So, and then I love that we got 2 tight ends. I mean, oh come on, he just did fantastic on the tight end selections because we got that peak of Musgrave could just be elite, and then Kraft can just be that consistent. He's already a good blocker, and we'll touch on him more later. But yeah, really excited about those 2 picks. It was quite odd that we took 2, but I mean, I really like it because we don't. We odds are we won't have to draft another tight end for another couple of years. I mean, those 2 guys plus DeGuara should just they should make this tight end room fantastic, and hopefully we can develop them. But sky's the limit for sure. Especially, I mean, goodness, look at that RAS. Both of the kids actually had really good RAS scores. It's funny. Sorry, I call like people older than me kids, but that's just what I do. Uh, Great height. Not concerned about the weight. He's a vertical threat. He's supposed to run fast. I want to get him at 280 because then he won't be able to run. Look at that vertical, freaking like 36. That's really good. Um, Not great bench. I mean that kind of contributes to his blocking, but that's not a big thing at all. This one was quite confusing for me when I heard his name because I was sitting there like, we traded down, so we must think someone's gonna still be there. And when Leroy Butler was like, "Oh, we have an offensive player," and so I'm like, "Well, we just took a tight end, so odds are we're taking a receiver right here." And I was quite shocked because I heard that he had like a third or fourth round projection. But when I actually looked into him, I was really excited. People on the Packers side compared him to Cobb, but then I saw another comparison to say like Christian Kirk type because he has that punt return ability as well as just getting open and really quick, and he's a little undersized, I guess. But um, yeah, I mean, it was odd that we took a guy like didn't have a great RAS score, but when you actually look at it, I mean, yeah, this is one of the biggest stats. The Packers when they brought him in clocked him at a 4.37. I think he had a 4.45. I think, at the combine. But if we can use him the way he was used at Michigan State, he'll be really good. He didn't have as great of a year this year, but his 2021 season, like both of our receiver or 2 of the receivers, Dontavian Wicks and Reed, they both had great 2021 seasons and then had a little bit of a drop off. But if they can return to that peak, well done. Well done for sure. Not a fan of him choosing the number 1. I just that's a personality trait personally. But you know, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, because we can just change that 4.45 to a 4.37. Maybe he didn't run a good 40. So I'll just say meet in the middle 4.4. That's plenty fast. I don't like that his vertical is 33, which actually when you look at his tape, it doesn't matter because he's always high pointing the ball and like getting up in the air and getting those contested catches. So overall, I like the Reed selection. Yeah, just quite weird because I feel like he would have been there in third, but especially with like Hyatt on the board and stuff. It's but like those people drop for a reason, so I'm more confident now in our selection. That was the thing I kind of learned this draft. I'm like, okay, for as much time as I spent researching this, they have dozens of people researching this every single day. So I'm just like, what do I know? I'm going to leave it to them. I can't be mad at a selection until a couple years down the road. So that helped me out for the rest of the draft, and I wasn't as pissed off, which was nice. I don't know why I just got really mad. Because I care. Care too much, I guess. Tucker Kraft. He's not in Division Two. Well, yeah, Yeah, Division Two or FCS. I don't really know the difference. It's kind of weird. All right, it just cut out, but this is our third round selection, Tucker Kraft. Hopefully, he breaks the third round curse. I think he's got a shot, for sure. He actually got a offer for transferring in 2022 for Bama. So I mean, that shows you a little something right there for sure. Yeah, he won the national championship last year. That was pretty cool. Uh, yeah, he's just more upside for DeGuara. Dude's a lot better of a blocker than Musgrave. So I think he's gonna be that blocking tight end. Let me look at his RAS. Who actually had the higher RAS? Okay, so Musgrave had a little bit higher, but they're kind of just different positions of tight end, I'd say. Um, Perhaps a little shorter. They had similar speeds. I think Musgrave's tad quicker. Could be wrong there, but dude's pretty solid. Good bench. That's a good thing to look at for sure. Good broad jump as well. Uh, yeah, I really enjoyed this selection. Okay, that's it for here. But odds are one of these tight ends is going to pan out and be really darn good. And so hopefully Jordan Love picks his favorite, and then LaFleur will just plug them into the offense and then go from there. But hopefully, like I said, he breaks the third round curse. All righty, let's get into day three. I enjoyed day three a lot, mainly because we had a lot of picks. So, for sure, when I saw Wooden taken, I was like, because I didn't really know much about him, because I don't really know the mid tiers like the fourth, fifth round guys. I was kind of more like top and bottom. I knew more, so I didn't really know much about him. But let's see. Yeah, senior year, 6 sacks, 11 and a half tackles for loss. When I looked back at his tape, very solid. Liked it a lot. Um, yeah, it's perfect because we got three guys that kind of have that ability to either bulk up or slim down depending on like what we want at edge. We have Lucas Van Ness, who's that pretty similar style, and then Wooden, and then as well as Carl Brooks. So all three of those guys have so much versatility. I was really happy that we completely rebuilt this, and hopefully our run defense becomes a lot better in the near future. So really excited about that. Some cheap guys that are just gonna be able to learn behind Kenny Clark and a couple other guys. So yeah, hopefully Devonte White can take that next step, and a couple of these guys in here can be those fantastic rotational players, or even take a spot, you know. But it just gives us that great versatility. So I'm really happy with this selection. Um, Personally, I would have liked A.T. Perry at this time, but he slid, so he must have slid for a reason. See, not gonna question Goody. He'll be fine. Next selection, we were all kind of. This was like the only other pissed off one, you know, because he was not supposed to be drafted at all. I don't think, and so um, people weren't very happy yet. Fifth year senior, and he was consistently average. So for what's that's worth, you know. But the Packers brought him in. They liked his character and they liked his intelligence. So maybe he'll be a great backup. So I guess that's fine for a fifth round pick. I just wish there was a couple of guys that I liked around this area. But you know what? Goody knows better. We'll just say that. And then one of our picks that we got from trading down, I think this one from Tampa, Dontavian Wicks. Like I said before with the Reed pick, he had a great 2021. And then just kind of took a little. I think they changed offensive coordinators, if I'm not wrong. And so that kind of hurt him. Yeah, see right here 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns as a redshirt sophomore. That's pretty darn impressive. That's not high school, is it? Yeah, no, this is right. Yeah, and then followed with only 430 yards and 2 touchdowns last year. that's not very good. He missed a couple games, but yeah, new coaching staff. That was what it was. So that hurt him, but I like him a lot. He's not the fastest dude in the world, but he's decent build. So he's that prototypical Packers pick, um, over the whatever I think 6'2", over 200 pounds. If it does, or 6'1", 206, solid. Didn't have a great 40, but 39-inch vertical sure does help. So hopefully he can get back to that 2021 season and limit his injuries. I think he'd be a good depth like X piece behind either Dobbs or Christian Watson. So yeah, I like that piece. I think every Packers fan knew that Dontavian Wicks was going to be a Packer. He was just kind of rumored the whole time. And then another pick that we got from trading down, Karl Brooks. I think he was rated in 2022, like per PFF, he was rated like the best, uh, highest rated pass rusher. I think in 2022. Could be wrong, but that's what I heard recently. A lot of information over the last couple days, so I'm just trying to spit it out. Um, yeah, Karl Brooks. He's not the biggest dude in the world, like size wise, but he gets that leverage at 6'3", 300 pounds. I think this dude's gonna be a very sneaky beast. Okay, look at these: 17 and a half sacks, 30 tackles for loss in the final two college seasons. He did play at Bowling Green, but you can tell this dude. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, man amongst boys. I want a man amongst boys on my team for sure. So I think if he can be developed properly, if Kenny Clark can take him under his wing, this dude could be fantastic. I'm really excited for him. Kicker, woo! Um, I'm not really mad about this pick. It's a six round pick, and I don't think we're going to sign Mason Crosby. So we took a 6'5" kicker from Auburn. So I like that. His brother's also a kicker. He had, I think he had Rich Bisaccia his brother had Rich Bisaccia as his coordinator. So little connection there. Um, yeah, pretty excited. It's hard to like a new kicker because as soon as they mess up, you want to put their head on a platter. But yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully, he's got a big old leg because Mason Crosby, that was the only thing he struggled with. Incredibly accurate under like 45 yards, but after that, he couldn't make it except for that one. I forgot what that one, the doink. That was great. Yeah, the only other concern, he tore his ACL, non-kicking leg, of course, but kind of. But he did a kick there for 4 years, so that's nice. You can't think about the cold. Okay, he grew up in Colorado. Okay, so cold's not a problem. I thought that was a problem. I was like, why did we draft a kicker who can't kick in the cold? Okay, we'll be all right. So solid selection there. Carrington Valentine. He's like the one player that I don't know a ton about. Someone compared him to Sam Shields coming out of college. Decent size, 6', 193, which is pretty decent for this draft class because there was a lot of guys under 6 foot and like under 180. Pretty quick, 4'4", and yeah, he played SEC, so he's gone against some really darn good receivers. So yeah, I mean it's good to have a depth piece. I wouldn't have been mad if they addressed it earlier because Eric Stokes, we don't really know a timetable on that, but I think we'll be all right with what we have right now. Nixon and the depth pieces. All right. Lou Nichols the third. I really like this selection. It's really sneaky, but it's, oh my gosh. We got a dude in the 7th round who led the league, the whatever NCAA in 2021. See, we all get those 2021 peak guys, and hopefully they return. So we got a 2021 peak. He led the NCAA with 1,800 freaking yards. I think he was hurt last year a little bit, and so he didn't return to his peak. But 1,800 yards in 16 touchdowns, goodness gracious! And dude is a bowling ball, 5'11", 222. if we choose not to pick up AJ Dillon's or fifth year option, like I said, sorry, cut out again. If we don't pick up AJ Dillon's fifth year option, give this kid a shot. So yeah, I love late round running backs. I just think it's the best thing of all time. Because you never know that when you find a diamond in the rough that's just ridiculous. I mean, Austin Eckler was undrafted. There's a lot of dudes. Who's that one kid? There was a lot last year in the like later rounds. Damian Pierce, Tyler Algier, people like that were great running backs. They just weren't selected high. It's just not a running back's not a commodity right now. One of my favorite picks of the draft, actually, Anthony Johnson Jr. He played safety for 1 year. He was at corner for I think 3 or 4 years, and then they moved him to safety. He's got 1 year of safety under his belt, but he was solid. And I think PFF ranked him at like 69th, I think, somewhere around that area. And so, not too shabby of a steal, I guess, according to them, of course. Yeah, it's just that versatility. I mean, that's kind of the thing of the draft. Put people everywhere, whether it be tight end, corner, edge, D tackle. Just move people around. Decent size, 6 foot, 205. Not blazing speed, but that's not bad. And worst comes to worst, he's just gonna be a darn good special teams player. So yeah, pretty happy with that. We'll see what we do with the safety room. I'm kind of assuming now we're gonna re-sign Adrian Amos. So hopefully some people can step up and kind of take over that role in the next couple of years. And with the last selection, 256, we picked Grant DuBose, receiver, Charlotte. Sorry, I was pronouncing it. It's a great last name, DuBose. Come on. So they don't touch on him a lot, but I think he was playing D2 ball, and then he moved up to Charlotte his last 2 years. 6'2", 200 pounds, prototypical Packers receiver. Not insanely fast, but who cares? This is what I think D-Hop ran, so as long as you get open, you'll be all right. That's pretty good averages for 2 seasons, over 60 receptions a year, roughly. Yeah, he's a project. That's what seventh rounders are. They're projects, and it's great to have depth at receiver. So yeah, I'm not mad at all. I'm just glad he got invited to the combine and he got to test out. So I like small school kids. We've got a lot of small school kids in this draft, whether that be South Dakota State, Bowling Green, a couple others, Charlotte. So hey, give these kids a shot at minicamp. Try to help them make a team because the receiving room's pretty wide open. So if you have a good minicamp, you got a chance of making the team. So yeah, but overall, really happy with this draft. It's hard. I mean, you can. I'm gonna grade it right now, but you have to take it with the biggest grain of salt because we don't know about these players at all. They are just college players at the moment. We'll know a little more next year, but we'll know a lot within the next 2 to 3 years. But at the moment, I'm kind of in between like a B plus and like an A minus, somewhere around there. Because it wasn't perfect because, in my mind it wasn't perfect because I wanted JSN because it was a good edge class, so I felt like we could have waited. And I think that still remains true. I would have rather switched those out, but Goody knows best, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of sad now. I love draft season and it's over, so that sucks. But I'm so excited. I mean, we got Jordan Love so many weapons, and we rebolstered what we needed. So the only thing that we kind of missed on was safety, but it was not a good safety class. I wish we actually got Jordan Battle. He was great, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments on like if I missed anything or what I should do next, if I should go over them individually. But I think it's a pretty long video, so I don't want to take up too much of y'all's time. But if y'all want individual of like some of the players, let me know. And let me know other like video ideas and how you think the draft actually went. Give me a rating in the comments. But yeah, draft season's over, and I'm pretty happy. I mean, A minus B plus, somewhere around there. But yeah, good job, Goody. Really excited for this season. Hopefully, we found some diamonds in the rough. My guess, the best diamond in the rough is gonna be Carl Brooks, but we'll see. That's my guess. We'll come back in a couple years, I guess. But sorry for rambling on. I hope you'll have a good day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers, so please, please. Um, yeah, I love Packers, so I'd like to reach out to more people. So, Ginger Man Packers. Peace.